Here we go. All right, so we're going to get started. This is huge, guys. Massive game changer. So what happens is when you have, one of the agents said to me one day, she goes, John, how do you do it? How do you do everything that you do? It's insane to me. I don't know how you do it all. Well, I'm going to share with you some secrets and techniques on how I do it all, right? And if you follow this system and you use this way of managing your business on a daily basis, I promise you, you're going to completely crush it in terms of efficiency and be able to make a lot more money per hour. So here's the thing. When you're not busy, you do things in certain ways that take up your time and you don't really care because you're not that busy. But when you go from 30 emails a day to 350, what do they say about necessity? It's what? Shauna said it. Can you say it louder, please?
The mother of invention.
Necessity is the mother of invention. So when you have 350 emails and you have 2 listings coming on and 1 under agreement and 4 agents that have questions and 1 child that needs to be dropped off to his friend's house, and Marlene is well deserving of an appreciation night to go out to dinner that night, you're finding ways to get things done in a very short period of time. You hear me on this? So what I have done, and I've been literally doing this for years, is working and finding ways to create efficiency and get the same amount of things done, but in a much shorter period of time. When I can show you how to do this, you will make more money per hour in real estate, and you'll have more time to do the things that are more important to you that will make you more money. So when you join us here at Century 21 Metro West, you are given a G Suite account. Now, there are people that have been with us for months that don't even know what G Suite account actually means and what it can do for them. All they know is that they have email. And unfortunately, some people have taken their email and they just forwarded it to their old original AOL account or Yahoo account. They're not even using Gmail. So I can tell you that the most tech-savvy, efficient professionals in the world right now are using 2 things that are running in common: Apple computers and Google everything. Those are the 2 things that tend to be that's what I would say the best of both of all worlds. So using Google platform and using an Apple as a computer. If someone said to me, hey, I'm a clean slate, what should I do? What should I start with? That's what I would tell them they would do. I even bought a Google notebook. What do they call them?
iPad?
Nope, Google.
Chrome.
Chromebook.
Chromebook.
Chromebook, thank you, Eric. Yeah,
Chromebook.
Chromebook. I bought a Chromebook for my son when he was 12. It was a year ago. Marlene, we sent her computer in just to be checked on. It was going to be gone for like 4 or 5 days. Gave Marlene my son's Chromebook, and she literally, honest to goodness, didn't miss a beat. She was on a $300 little miniature laptop with a 12-inch screen, and she could do everything that she normally does every day with that Chromebook.
Yeah, the Chromebook all it has is internet.
That's it.
You can't even send anything through the computer.
No.
Internet.
It is, yeah. So I'm going to make a couple of quick recommendations. Number 1, I recommend use Chrome as a browser. Not Safari, not anything else, but use Chrome as a browser. And you use Gmail. When you log into Chrome, you can log into Chrome with an account. And the Chrome account you should be logging in with should be the same account that your email is associated with. So when you come on board, you get an email address. It's josh at c21metrowest.com. So you log in to your Chrome with that, and you're going to log into your email with that. Now, so that's just some general information. If you follow those guidelines, I know you'll be on track. You won't have any problems with viruses. You won't have any issues or anything like that. So without any further ado, I'm going to get into the details now of how you should be set up. And I'm going to show you how you should set things up first, and then the oohs and ahs are going to come later. Ready? It's like, oh, wow, yeah, now I see why you did that. So first I'm going to show you what to do, and then I'm going to show you why we do it that way. So everyone get on a Gmail account. And I'm going to ask you to try to follow along as quickly as you can because I want to try to get this moving for you, right? So you're in Gmail. Is everyone in Gmail? Yes? Okay. Now, what I want you to do is go over here to Settings and click that button, and then click Settings again. Well, that took a while. Now, on the General tab, what I would like you to do is, we're going to start at the top and work our way down, and I want your settings to match my settings. And there's very specific reasons why your settings should look the way they do here. I'm going to show you that in a minute. So at the top, default country code, United States, maximum page size. I have 50 conversations per page. Next item down, undo send. Send cancellation period. I have mine set for 10 seconds. You ever send an email and go, oh shoot, I forgot to put that attachment on there. Oh, I forgot to copy everyone else on that. Oh, and you sent it and it's gone, and then you have to send it again. When you have that oh shoot feeling, Gmail does this wonderful thing where it puts a little icon on the bottom of the screen, and you can say undo send. And that will hang out there for like 5 seconds. But you can extend the length of time that little button shows up at the bottom of the screen, and I put mine to 10 seconds just in case I wanted to retract that email, or I sent it to the wrong person. Or, very important thing that agents do in our industry is they will send an email and they'll forget to delete all the email thread underneath it. There are certain things you want people to see and certain things you don't want them to see. And so if you forget to erase on the bottom, like when I'm ever communicating with my buyers and sellers, I always take out the co-broke's email address, but I'll leave their name in there. So I delete the email address and I delete the phone number because I don't want my sellers having, the brain hemorrhage and contacting the agent directly. I want to be directly involved with all that. Does that make sense? Okay, so set that for 10 seconds. Default reply behavior, I don't have anything checked there at all. You could, what this means is if you hit reply, it will automatically do reply all. It's kind of handy if you want to do that. So you can.
I just clicked reply all because
You can do that too.
Emails, and it always just replies to the person that sent it, and there was like 7 people on the email.
Yes.
I always have to go back.
Yes.
So
can hit reply all.
It sounds like reply all would be a good option there. It is for me
Absolutely.
anyway.
Yeah. And then hover actions. What I would like you to do is click enable hover actions. Next one down, send in archive. This is really important too. Click on and have where it says show send in archive button in reply. And again, I'm going to tell you the whys and the hows and the oohs and ahs afterward, but just follow along on this, all right? I didn't change the text style, but you could do that if you wanted to be fancy or have your font larger if you want. Images, I have clicked here, always display external images. Have that checked. Dynamic email, I click off enable dynamic email, display dynamic email content when available. So grammar, would you like to get suggestions on grammar, yes or no?
Yes.
I would. So check on. Spelling, would you like any spelling corrections automatically suggested? Yes, on. Auto advance, this is huge. Ready? I'm so excited about this part. It's amazing how much of a nerd I am, how I get excited about these. Auto advance, you want to check off the top one where it says go to next newer conversation. And I'll show you why this is going to be so powerful and so important to your way of getting through this. Go to the next newer conversation. And now this one right here where it says Smart Compose Personalization. You see that?
Sorry, just a question. Yeah, exactly. Is there something else you have to do to get that feature?
Oh!
Yeah.
Okay, guys, you ready? Everyone back up. We're going to go over here to advanced. I should have started here. So copy this.
Oh, there it is.
Auto advance, hit enable. Thank you guys for Yeah, compare mine to yours. Preview pane, enable. So the top 3 are enabled. Custom keyboard, not. Multiple inboxes, not. Right side chat, not. Unread message icon, not. Part of what I do is I want to help you to be efficient. So anytime that you have, do any of you have these little icons that wisp out into your screen and make a noise and flash at you and give you an alert about anything? Do any of you have anything like that?
Yes.
Like an email that comes in? Disable all of them, all of them. Just shut them all off. You know, I hear so many people, somebody that say, oh, I have ADD, I have ADD. Well, no, I mean, how can you focus with everything that's going on around you? It's impossible. I mean, I see people sitting there with their phones and their computers, and they've got the same alerts that are coming off on their phone are coming into their computer screens, and they're coming in at different times. And how are we supposed to focus? Do you know that it takes 12 minutes to recover from an interruption? So if you've had 4 interruptions in an hour, you've already wasted almost an hour. You've wasted 48 minutes of time trying to get back to where you started from, where you left off. So one of the ways to be efficient is to eliminate your your pop-ups. Get rid of all of them. So I was sitting down with an agent a few months ago, and the pop-ups were coming in, and I said, does that bother you? Oh, I just ignore them now. I said, well, it's bothering me, and I'm sitting next to you. It's not even my computer, and it's bothering me. Can we get those off of there? She goes, well, I don't know how. I'd love to, but I don't know how to shut them off. So one of them was a calendar alert. Another one was something about Apple, and so what I did is I went on Google and I searched how to shut off alerts. You know, those auto alerts that come on the side of the screen for whatever the app was that was giving her that alert. And I pulled it up and I gave her the instructions and she followed them and they're off now. So it's pretty simple. If you don't know how to do something, Google it. Some people think, oh, John, you're a tech genius. No, I'm not. I just see a problem and I Google or YouTube and I find the answer and then I do it. That's not being smart. That's just, that doesn't make you be more tech savvy. It just makes me more determined to fix the problem. You follow me? So get rid of these interruptions out of your life. All right, so you all have this. Now we'll go back to settings of general, right? So we're in the general tab, and now do you see auto advance? Go to the next. Click that one. It should be the top one. You see it? Compose personalization. That should be on. Autocorrect on. Writing suggestions on. Conversation view on. Nudges. This is a great new feature. I love Gmail. This is hit suggest emails to reply, suggest emails to follow up on. Do you know that sometimes in my inbox, I'll get 3 or 4 emails that will pop up that day. In Gmail, so intuitive, it said, hey, John, did you want to follow up on this email? Because it sounded like they wanted to hear from you and you didn't reply back. And sometimes they're right and sometimes they're wrong, but it's kind of cool that they're checking up on me and saying, hey, by the way, are you sure you don't want to do this? So that's great. Smart reply on. Preview pane. Mark a conversation is read after 3 seconds. That might be what it already is now. Desktop notifications. I have mail notifications off. Off. We don't need desktop notifications. If someone desperately needs to get a hold of you now, they will call you. My son's school, I have a problem, he's sick, they call me. They don't put a mail notification on my computer screen. It can wait. Keyboard shortcuts I have off. If you want to learn about them and use them, that's up to you. And it's great because they have these little learn more buttons on the side, but again, not an effective use of my time. Button labels. Why would I want to search for a label in my mind that is archive or delete when I could just see the word archive or delete? Again, it's just obvious. Rather than having a button that looks like an icon, I have a button that actually has the word in it, okay? My picture, put your picture in there. Create contacts for autocomplete. You want to shut this off because you want to add all your contacts yourself, because I'm going to show you how to use your contacts in Google Suite that you have to really clean up your life in a way that I hope will really blow your mind. So I'll add contacts myself. So what happens is if you don't have that checked, Google will go in, and if my insurance provider sends me an email and I reply back, they'll put my insurance provider's information in my contacts. And then 3 months from now, I'm like, who is this person? I have no idea. I don't need their information in my contacts database. And it's just clogging it up, making it a mess for you. So you don't need that. In your signature, pop your signature in there. You know, I've had a lot of stuff, pictures, links, all kinds of crazy things in my signature at times in my life. And so I just narrowed it down right now to this. What I recommend you do is take one of the emails that I sent you, say to invite you to the seminar today, copy and paste that signature that I have in my email that I sent to you. Copy and paste it in here. You'll get the beautiful logo all lined up perfectly. You'll have all the font that matches the font in your email, and then just change the name and the phone number, and you're good to go. I love this. I'd like to think that I was the true and initial inventor of this, but it's the call/text. I came up with that on my own, and everyone in the world started following it after that. It's amazing. I should have copywritten it and patented it.
Innovation.
But call/text, this number, 508-523-8033. So change the phone number because some people prefer to text. Remember Sheldon was talking about that today in an earlier class? Here I have a link, and you can add links to your website. This one here, I have it right now. This is what I'm doing today. I have a link, so if I'm sending it to a buyer or a seller,
Okay.
they're
So
getting this.
tell us, how did you first learn about the John Miller Real Estate team?
Well, we were with another agent who referred John and his team to us when we were looking at a property in Northbridge.
Okay, great. And when you
So
met with John,
it's
what
a
were
it's a
the
customer
criteria
testimonial.
choosing
Someone
an
I helped
agent?
buy and
What were
sell
some
a
of the
home,
things you were looking for?
and they're on there.
I think
And
somebody
guess
that was
what? If
personable,
someone does that,
That understood what I needs and
and they click on the link, and so I thought that was pretty cool. Get a video testimonial, and I wrote, click here to hear what people are saying about John and his team. Something quick and simple, like throw a little advertising there. And right now, at this point in my career, I'm thinking nothing sells better than a video testimonial. Like nothing better than that. This could be an excellent link, like Shauna. You could link this to your realtor. Shauna just had a really great, real satisfied testimonial from one of her clients, and you could have that link go to your realtor.com page that has all your client testimonials on it, or your Zillow page that has all your client testimonials in Zillow. And if you don't have those yet, like Shauna does, then just have a video that you can put on YouTube. And when they go to YouTube, they go to this YouTube channel. I have several YouTube channels for different reasons, but this one here is for a YouTube channel that I want customers and clients to see. This isn't the one that I would have for real estate agents. Okay, moving on. Check this box underneath here. There's a reason for that too. Check the box next to insert this signature before quoted text and replies, and remove the line that precedes it. The what? And again, just without getting into it, excruciating detail, just trust me, you're going to want to check that box. If you want to find out why and what it does, send an email with it checked and not checked, and you can do the research on your own. But some of this, you're just going to have to go with it. Personal level indicators, no indicators, snippets, show snippets, vacation responder is off. If you do go on vacation, you can put every turn, you can put some details in there if you want to. Now, here's what's really important. You ready for this? You must, unlike most things in Google, you must click Save Changes at the bottom. So please do that now. It is a big one, right, Eric? We know. And so that's important. Okay, so now that you've done that, Now here's how I became a G Suite aficionado and an expert in efficiency in Google. What I did, and I would invite you to do this too on some Friday night with your favorite beverage, and you sit down and you just simply go through the top here and click on labels and just take a look at it, learn about it. Inbox, look at that, check it out. We're going to talk about that next actually. And then go through accounts, filters and blocked addresses, forwarding, add-ons, chat, advanced, offline. So I just went in and looked around at every tab and I studied it a little bit and I figured out what's what and I'm like, oh, this is pretty cool, right? So now, let's go, I'm going to pass over labels and I'm going to go to your inbox. And what I would invite you to do is check off primary social promotions and updates. Now this, for Brad, when Brad said this was a game changer for him, is he would have 350 emails coming in a day and not know which ones to focus on first. So what would happen is he'd try to start at the beginning of the day and work his way down, but you click on that email and then you get distracted with an ad for shoes. And the next thing you know, you're on someone's website, you're on Amazon, and you've got emails to return from prospects, from buyers and sellers, and you're surfing the net looking at shoes. And so it's, again, it's another massive distraction. So what is one of our goals? Is to eliminate what? Distractions, thank you. So part of that is going to be to take your primary, and Google is so intuitive and so smart that it will take all your most important emails and it will plug them into your primary inbox and you address those first. So this is the order. You look at your primary emails first, then you look at your update emails second, and then you ignore social and promotions for the rest of your life. No, I mean, I sometimes don't look in those two folders for maybe a week or 2 weeks at a time, because when you see what's in my folders, you'll see why. But it would really clog up my inbox. How many times you've gotten a LinkedIn invitation from a mortgage broker? Every day. It's all the time, right? They all want to link to real estate brokers. And so that's in your inbox right now, unless you check these folders right here. And I'm going to show you what that's going to look like. Rather than keeping you in suspense, I'll tell you what it looks like right now. So what that does is that creates these folders right here. See where it says primary, social, promotions, and updates? So at the end of the day, full of appointments and things are going on and it's hectic and it's crazy, and I've got 30 minutes to check emails, I'm going to primary and I'm scanning these to see which ones I'm going to click on that are going to resonate with me the most. And so, and I'm going to show you how to read your emails in your inbox differently than the way you're reading them now. And it's all based on how I set this up. You can tell I get excited about this part, but I'm still not going to share it with you yet. So then we go to the updates, and updates are things like, well, Panera Bread, your order is ready, John. It's not urgent, it's not important, but it is something I probably want to look at, right? So anyway, so here's an ad, that should have probably went in promotions. Here's something from Indeed, someone applying for a position on Indeed. So here we have the promotions in the social tab. Promotions, guess what's in promotions?
Promotions.
You got it. Yeah. Eric's got it. Yeah. These are all advertisements. These are all people trying to get me to buy stuff, from ESPN Plus to Land Magazine to an agent inviting me to a broker's open house this weekend, to BJ's Wholesale Club, Green Chef. These are all things that if you have time, energy, and effort to do it, you can unsubscribe. This would be your unsubscribed list of people to unsubscribe, usually in most cases. This is where you're going to find emails where your email address was sold to another person. It's going to end up in here in this promotion section. I hardly ever check this. Now, I will give you a word of warning. You ready? Sometimes you'll find an email in your updates, promotions, and social that should have gone into your primary box. And so, because Google doesn't know you well enough yet. But the more you use it, the more Google will know you and the more it will adapt to you to make sure it's going. So what happens? How do we do that? How do we get it over there? So let's pretend that you had an email that went to a box, but you want it to go to your primary. Would you like to know how to get it to go to your primary permanently?
Yes.
Yes or yes? All right, thank you. Now, before I show you that, I want to show you the social tab. I haven't showed you that yet. Look what's in social. LinkedIn, 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 LinkedIn invitation, LinkedIn, more LinkedIn, everything that has to do with social media, any alerts or anything like that for social media. So you look in like November 7th, I had 4 emails that came in November 7th that I ignored, and they were just things that were going on in LinkedIn about people want to join my network and blah, blah, blah. They're people, I don't even know these people, so I don't know why I would go along with that. If you look in promotions, look at today alone. From 8:12 this morning, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I probably get like 10 or 12 emails today that are just advertisements. And if you don't have these separate tabs, it is clogging up your inbox. It is distracting you. Distractions, distractions, distractions. Get them out of your life. Now, let's say that I see something that I want to go into my main folder. Here's how I'm going to show you how to do this. What you do is you find something somewhere else and you want it to go to your main folder. This is a really cool feature that I use all the time that will change your life. And there's so many cool things you can do with this. All you do is you click on the email and you go to these 3 little dots on the side where it says More, and then you click on Filter Messages like this, right? Now, click on that, and I have a complete set of instructions. I really want to invite you to play around with this. This is a lot of fun. You can get a lot of cool things done with this. So what I'm going to do is I'm setting up a rule. I'm setting up a process. I'm training. What I'm doing is I'm telling Google that, hey, if you get an email from Eric Wittenhagen, or it says, or if I send an email to someone, or it has something in the subject line like relentless. If any subject line ever has the word relentless in it, I want to manipulate that email. I want to do something with it, which I'm going to show you on the next slide. All right. So this one says has the words blah blah blah. It auto-populated that in there. It doesn't have blank. Greater than a certain size. Has an attachment. Don't include chats, and I can create a filter, okay? So I'm going to show you how to create a filter. This is really cool. I'm going to go to, let's say, I want to, all right, bear with me. I want to find a good one. Go to my inbox. I'll go updates. And let's say Panera Bread, okay? So I'll click on this, filter messages like this, and see where it says no reply at panerabread.com? Have you ever been affiliated with a company that has Susie from panerabread.com, info at panerabread.com, tech support at panerabread.com? I want anything that has at panerabread.com to go to my inbox so I see it right away. Now this could be a lawyer's office. Let's think about a transaction you're working with right now. And it's from, ADAP lawyerservices.com. And they've got a paralegal, they have 2 lawyers, and they're all communicating with you, and you find out that those emails are going into the wrong folder. So if you want them to go into your main folder, what you do is you just simply erase this. See that up there? Take that out, and anything that has the suffix at panerabread.com, I am going to manipulate those emails now. And here's how I do it. I don't care about these things right here for now. And then I'm going to click on Create Filter. This is a thing of beauty. I hit Create Filter. It loads. Now, when a message arrives that matches this search, I can do the following. This is so cool. So I can have it skip my inbox and automatically archive it. And by the way, archive means you're saving the email, but you're just taking it out of your inbox, so it's not cluttering up your inbox. What I archive, by the way, I'm not going to ask you the question, I'm going to tell you. Every time I have an email from a certain transaction, I always archive the email. I don't delete them. Archiving saves it, but it's not clogging up my inbox. If I want to find it, I can find it very easily. If I'm closing on 123 Main Street, I'll just click 123 Main Street in the search bar at the top, and all my emails for the entire transaction will come up 3 years from now when and if there's a question or a problem, and I can go back and find those emails just the way I want it. Another excellent habit to get used to doing. Every time you're in a transaction, whether it's a listing or under agreement, always put the address of the property in the subject line. Now, someone invariably, a co-broker or an attorney's office or a mortgage person is going to send you an email, and in the subject line it's going to say home inspection or appraisal. I want you to change the subject line when you respond and add the property address in there. Just the street number and name. 123 Pine Ave, whatever it is, or 123 Pine home inspection, 123 Pine appraisal. Because trust me, the day you need that email to find it, to prove that you did say that they were leaving the pool table, okay? and they're saying you didn't say that, you need to find that email, you're going to want to find it very quickly and easily. What's beautiful about Gmail that's different than Outlook and all these other ways we used to manage our email is that with Google, you do not need to have folders anymore. So what I've seen agents have these folders on the left-hand side, and all the folders have all their property addresses on it, and every time they'd get an email, they'd click and drag it in that folder. Click and drag it. Efficiency, eliminate those distractions. You don't have to do them. I can't tell you, that's the way I used to manage it when I had Outlook. When I had Gmail, it was a whole way of wrapping my head. When I had Gmail, the first thing I did is I made folders on the left-hand side of Gmail, and I was doing it the old way. And I had to force myself to stop doing that because it was wasting my time. You follow me on this? So now, you can do mark as read, you can star it, you can apply a label, which again, I'm not a huge fan of labels because you can make 100 different labels on the left-hand side, and you click on the label on the left and everything that's labeled comes up with that. But if I put an ad for an administrative person on Indeed, all I have to do is type in the word Indeed and all the ads come up. I don't have to shove them all into a folder or a label on the left-hand side. You're wasting your time by doing that. That's one of the beautiful pieces of efficiency that Gmail built in. It's what makes it special than other email services, so that's why you want to get away from that. You can forward it to someone automatically, and it's automated. I don't have to wait for it to come in, and then I have to respond. You follow me on this, guys? You see the power and the strength and the incredible amount of things you can do with this to really save yourself a lot of time. You can categorize it. So this is the part I wanted to show you. You click here, and I can have it automatically go to my primary folder. So remember, this was the Panera one I showed you? Yeah. And Panera is going into my promotions category, but I want it to go into my everyday email. So if I click on primary, and then I click over here, also apply filter to all the matching conversations. Look in the background here. These are all the emails Panera sent me to tell me that my order was ready. I should have stock in Panera. So anyway, they told me when it's going to be ready and all that. And if I hit apply, all of these are going to do whatever I tell it to do. They're all going to go to my primary folder right now. If I click that, and then I click create filter, boom, filter created. And I've just made myself more efficient by just a few keystrokes and using filters. Is this good stuff for you guys? You guys like this?
Yeah.
Very powerful.
John, if it's in the wrong place, I think there's another way that it might be easier.
Oh, yeah, tell me.
Filter. Two, you can just drag. So it won't apply to historic conversations.
Right.
If you find it's in the wrong spot, just drag it over.
But will it do it for future ones, though?
Yes, if you want that.
Oh, will. So it'll say,
filter.
so it'll say, do you want me to put it there every time? It'll do that?
Yes.
That's awesome. Thank you, Scott.
It just won't clean up.
Nice.
It'll only clean up future, not past.
Yeah.
Very cool. See, I'm learning some good stuff here, too.
Scott,
Yeah.
stole my thunder.
Phew,
Yeah.
Awesome.
So, yeah, exactly. So if you got, another example is if you're in a primary email, say whatever email there you decide is, you know what, it's actually should be in promotions, 'cause while you're in primary, you
Yep.
just drag and drop it.
Are you just repeating what I just said?
Yeah, let's show it off.
sounds like-
Show it off, John.
All right, see,
Drag it
it's
into
going here.
promotions now.
He wants some credit.
He wants his thunder back. But you got
Conversation move.
There you go.
Do this for future.
There you go.
for no- yeah,
I want
that's
you to
awesome.
Demonstrate that.
That's what I do with my son.
Excellent. Well, that's pretty cool. That was worth the price of admission right there, guys. That's great.
Right. And if
Golden
you wanna,
nugget.
If you want to clean up the past stuff, then you could do what you just did. You could create a filter, apply it to all the conversation.
Yes.
And then just go in and delete the filter and then.
Awesome. Very, very cool. Guess what Scott gets? It's a gold star.
What color are yours?
Don't lose it. This cost me a penny.
Oh, I can probably keep it.
Thank you. All right, good.
Interview, gold star.
All right, so we were in settings. We talked about the different folders, right? The inbox, I should say. This is where we left off, right, guys? Important markers, I have no markers. Use my past actions to predict which messages are important to me. I have that, and then I clicked don't override filters. Chosen. There's little videos and things on the side. You can click on accounts, and right now I have, because of my previous history, I have other Gmail email addresses. So what I highly recommend you do, before you came here, you all had a Yahoo or a Gmail or an AOL email address. And if you want to, if you think it's worth it, it's completely up to you, you can go into that server's, that email server and have that forwarded to this email address so that you don't have to log into AOL every day and log into Gmail every day. Again, wasting time, another distraction, another step to do. If it's not important and that AOL address is strictly using it for promotional stuff that you sign up for, and you know there's all junk going to AOL email address, and nothing important from family, friends, or customers or clients are coming from the email address, and you want to keep it on AOL and just leave it there and check it every couple of weeks, then leave it there. That's fine. Don't add more emails to your email address here, okay? Lisa is an excellent example of this. Everyone say hi to Lisa Pazall. Hey, Lisa. How you doing? You're awfully quiet back there. So, Lisa, what's your signature Gmail address? What's your email address? listwithlisap@gmail.com. So what Lisa did was she took, that is her personal email address that she's been using for years. She has it on posters and billboards and park benches and buses all over the county. And so when she came here and I said, guess what? Your new email is Lisa@C21 Metro West. What do you think her first reaction was? Oh, really? Do I have to use that? I don't think so. But I wanted Lisa to have all the benefits of the G Suite. So what she very smartly did is she just took her Lisa P address and she has it all forwarded to the suite. We can communicate with her using the calendar, which I'm going to show you in a minute. And she doesn't miss a beat, and she gets all her emails coming back again. All right to her, and she can respond any which way she wants. Does that sound good? So you can customize your email if you want to. I love the emails the way they are now because it has your name and it has what you do. It has, Century 21 in there, C21. It's in the email, so it's kind of doing the best of both worlds for you. Filters and blocked addresses. So these are filters that I created. Here's one, that I just showed you how to create filters, but you can edit the filters as well by going in here and editing them. So I have certain things that are going to certain people at different times. Forwarding, you can, right here I have disable forwarding. Be very careful with this because if you click this button, forward a copy of incoming email to, all your emails will go to that person, all of them. So don't click that. What Lisa did is she went into her Lisa P Gmail, she logged into that one, and then clicked on forward a copy of incoming mail to her Lisa@C21 Metro West email, and that's all those emails are going into one box now. So she's not having to check 2 different Gmail accounts. Would be a massive waste of time. Okay? Add-ons, chat. I have chat on. Advanced, we already went through that. Offline unavailable. Themes. So you can create themes if you're really getting bored of the background that you see here. You can change it by adding different themes. You can even add your own custom theme, and they have some that change with the time of the day. So it'll be day and daytime and night at nighttime automatically based on your time zone. And so there's a lot of cool things if you just want to have fun and be interesting with it. And you can add any photos of your own. I used to have a C21 logo behind mine and, stuff like that. So, alrighty. So, any questions about Gmail? I think I've shown you some really cool stuff with that. I forgot to tell you the best part. I knew there was something. Now, here's how you crush it. See, now if you did this the way we recommended, you'll see your emails. Look at the times on the right-hand side here. So these were all my emails from today. See this? How were they listed?
Newest for,
The beginning of the day, the newest is first. Thank you, Shauna. I needed that. So November 7th. If I went beyond this, it would be November 6th, November 5th, November 4th. So they're in that order, okay? Because we set it up to see them in that order when we set up our settings, okay? Now here's how. This is a wonderful thing. I'm going to check my email with you, and I want to show you how this works. Now, make a note of this. What time does this say?
Oh no, finger fell off.
My finger fell off.
Oh my God.
I lost my little pointer. Okay. So anyway, so this is, what time does this say?
6:01 a.m.,
And this is,
6:52 a.m.
7:14.
so just remember these times, right? Now watch. I'm going to start at the bottom and work my way what? Up, right? Now the reason why this is so good is that if you ever gotten an email and then you didn't understand it, but that's because you didn't read the email that came in before that, that's because you were reading it in reverse order. You were looking at the most recent ones and you didn't know what was said prior.
Mine are conversational, so I click the most recent and then I scroll all the way down and
Yep.
read that. Okay, because I want to know,
Yes.
especially with attorneys.
Absolutely.
So I'll do newest and then I'll fall back and read the whole conversation between my client and their.
Yes, gotcha. So when you get to a certain email, that's what I would recommend you do. However, you want to, let me expand your mind a little bit. I totally appreciate what you're saying. There's a method for my madness in here, and that is, well, we want to eliminate what in our lives? Distractions. Josh, all right, you got it. So you want to eliminate distractions, and what happens is when we're checking our email, what happens is we check the email, we open it, and then we hit delete or archive, and then what happens then? What happens after I delete or archive a message? Where does the screen go?
Back to your inbox.
Back to your inbox. And when you get to your inbox, guess what happens? Oh, a new one came in. Ooh, shiny object. Oh, squirrel. Oh, look at this one. And then what happens is you start scanning and you're like, all right, I have all these emails listed for today. And I start reading. Renee, Janie, Karen, guaranteed newsletter, YouTube, blah, blah, blah. And then I start picking off the ones I want. And then you get distracted, and then something else happens, and then someone says, hey, did you get my email? And you're like, oh, must have been one of the ones I missed. And then you have to go back and find it. So here's a foolproof way to stay focused. Because of the way I had you set it up on the previous screen, by clicking here, Settings, General, Auto advance, go to the next newer conversation. Remember we clicked that? Watch this magic. It's going to blow your mind. This is the part where your mind gets blown. You ready? And remember, it's the simple things that are the most powerful. So I'm reading this. This is talking about QuickBooks, payday reminder. This is a reminder to pay Karen and Eric. And so, I can click that and run payroll. So I did that this morning. I don't need this reminder. And so this is where it's important to focus on this right here. On the top, I don't have icons, I have the words, right? So what do you, when would you archive an email versus delete it? I'm going to ask the question. I want to have the studio audience respond. Transaction, you want to keep the email. So what would you do? Lisa, you archive it, is what Lisa's saying. If you delete it, it's gone forever. Actually, it goes to your deleted bin, and every 30 days, those get deleted. They're in your deleted folder for 30 days, and then they get trashed permanently. I don't ever want to permanently trash an email regarding a transaction. Would you agree with that? Yeah. Okay, so what we do is we would archive it. It's an email you want to keep, but you don't. What archive does, here's what I want you to understand. Archive gets it out of your inbox. So if you follow this system effectively, you literally could have your inbox go to 0 every day. Inbox to 0 every day if you follow this system. So here's what you do. So what's your goal? Inbox what?
Empty.
Inbox empty. How cool would that be, right? So what you do is you go in here, and I decide, what am I going to do with this email? You make a choice. I'm going to try to do this off the top of my head, but I think there's the 4 Ds. You either do it, you look at the email. If it's something you can do, you do it within the first, if it takes you 1 to 5 minutes, you do that activity. So right here, if I didn't already do this, I would hit run payroll now, and I would do that activity, right? That's what I would do with that. And then when I was done, I could either archive or delete it. You can delegate it for a later time. You can dump it or delete it, as they say, right? Or you can delegate it and send it off to someone else, the 4 Ds. I can't believe I remembered all 4 of them. So do it, delete it, or dump it, delay it, or delegate it. I am so proud of myself for remembering that.
I was just doing a video. I wish I got that.
Yes. I can't repeat it. I hope you... Oh, we are videotaping this too, so that's good. So now, let's say I did that activity. And let's say it's a phone call. I've got to call someone. Leave that on your screen. If it says, coordinate home inspection, want to know if we can do it Saturday at 2 o'clock, you can email, call, text your seller. Do that activity. Stay focused. Don't get off that screen until that job is done. Once it's done, then move on. It's about discipline as well, part of it, okay? But I'm making your discipline easy for you if you just have your email set up like this. So what time is this during the day? What is this time? For those who can't, it's 5:01 a.m., right? So now, watch this. I'm going to hit delete. And in the past, you would go to your inbox and get distracted with all your emails. But watch what happens now, the magic of technology. I'm going to click delete and watch this. Watch the time and the day up here. Boom, 6:52 a.m.
Right into the next one.
It went right into the next email. So now I'm not distracted by my inbox. And what I do is I plow through all my emails in a matter of a short time. I could get through a whole day's worth of emails in just a couple hours versus spending 4 hours off and on my email, getting distracted, moving around, doing all these crazy things, and not being efficient in getting things done. And I will tell you, this will eliminate a tremendous amount of stress out of your life, especially those of you who are really busy. If you're not really busy yet, these are some great habits to get into because the day you are busy, this is going to mean the world to you. So then I look at this and I say, oh, look, a showing was confirmed on one of my listings, and it's going to be Saturday at 2 o'clock. So if I want, I can hit this button up. I'm going to pretend for a minute. So let's pretend I wanted to call Lana at 2 o'clock on Saturday. Let's say I want to call at 3 to say, hey, how did you make out on the showing on this listing? So I didn't want to forget about it. I could put it in my calendar and, hey, call Lana or that. Or I could take this message and I can hit snooze, and then I can pick a date and time where this email will pop back into my inbox at a specific day and time. So now what I'm doing is I want to deal with this email, but I want to delay it. I want to deal with it when? I want to deal with it Saturday at 3 o'clock after she shows the house. But what does the average agent do? Well, they keep it in their inbox, and they promise themselves that on Saturday at 3 o'clock, they're going to go look at all their emails from Friday. And we just don't do it, do we? Because we're looking at the new emails. We're looking at the next shiny email. We're looking at the next shoe advertisement, right? that comes on our screen. How cool is that? Isn't that neat? So now I don't miss a beat with anything, and I'm organized, and I don't have to add it to my calendar. I'm just clicking a few buttons, and it's literally changing my world. So let's say that, so I wanted to share that with you. I have an app called Boomerang, which is similar to the Snooze. I paid for this app. It's an attachment that goes onto Chrome. And if you're interested in the product, you can go and Google Boomerang for Gmail and click a video, and it'll tell you all the cool things that it does. So let's say, just to not keep you in suspense, because I know you want to know, why would I buy this app and have this on here, right? So what I do, let's say I want to forward this message to Marlene. So I sit Marlene, right? Now, let me ask you this. Shauna, have you ever sent an email to a buyer, seller, and attorney and wanted to be able to confirm that they actually read it and when they read it? Would that be important at any time? Like if you send them the bill and you're like, hey, they want to make sure you got the bill, and you're wondering. So what this app does, this Boomerang app, is it adds this to the bottom of all your Gmails.
Or an offer, when you send an offer.
Yeah, you want to confirm it.
Oh, yeah, the listing agent got it, yeah.
Yeah, so what I do is
Opened it, yeah.
I click this button here. It's a request a read receipt, and it tracks the clicks. It tells me if they opened it. It tells me if they opened a video link that I sent to it.
Or if you're, communicating with someone that you got a lead from, you want to make sure they opened it.
How about this? I sent you guys an email yesterday morning and this morning. You got an email Thursday morning and Friday morning about this class.
Right.
I sent it Wednesday night. And what I did is I hit send later, and then I sent recurring schedule message, and I said, I want this message, this email to go out every day for the next 2 days in the morning.
I want to know who opened it.
And I didn't, I want to know who opened it. I want to know what time they opened it. I wanted to know, and I was able to take the camera on their screen, take a picture of them while they were watching it. No, I didn't. That's not true. But how cool is this, right? How cool is this?
That's a game changer for sure.
This is a game in
I
real
use
estate.
it all the time.
This is huge, right? And it's kind of like one of those tools that you wouldn't use it unless you have it. But when you have it, you find ways to use it when you have it. Trust me.
There's a confirm receipt on AOL. I'd be hard pressed to think it's not on regular Gmail.
We
I-
haven't found it.
Don't know where it is.
Because even AOL,
Yeah.
back in like
What's that?
the 1700s.
I don't know. I
had it.
think it's less than $100 a year or something like that. I will tell you
There's
this.
so many free, and then you,
For doing what we do, it's well worth it.
It's well
I'm
worth
like, there's no like,
Anything I
I was just
send
curious,
out
'cause I
that's
used to mail
super
track.
important. goes
Ah,
to
you're probably
the
similar.
list, And you can tell it.
Yes, yes, yes.
So I'm not
Yeah,
sending
yeah,
it
yeah.
off a regular Gmail.
well,
You know,
your
and-
leads, like leads that you're sending out on their emails, so there are things that won't go through
Yeah.
Loop that you.
Yeah, I see
They're
them all
game
over.
changers for you.
so let me show you this down here at the
You get
bottom.
so many free a month.
Let me show you this on the bottom. Yeah, you can get a certain amount for free a month, and then you have to pay for it after that. So over here, I say Boomerang this in 2 days, or I pick a specific date and time. And that's similar to Snooze, where it takes it out of my inbox and brings it back to my inbox. However, this is what's different than Snooze. Watch this. Now, on here on the bottom, love this stuff. On the bottom, it says Boomerang this in 2 days. That's what the snooze button does in Gmail. But what Gmail doesn't do is this. Boomerang this, in other words, I'm going to send it out, and it's going to come back to my inbox if You can't read this, it's so tiny. If there's no reply, it will boomerang it. I can click if it's not clicked, it will boomerang it. I can choose if it's not opened, I can boomerang it. And regardless, I don't care whether someone opens it or not, I want this back in my inbox. What this does is it drastically cuts down my checklist of things to do on certain days. And I don't have to now put things in my calendar to remind myself to do something on that day because my inbox has now become an extension of my to-do list. You follow me on this? Mm-hmm. It's less work for you to do and it's in your face. And if you're checking your emails from the earliest to the most recent during the course of the day, you can't miss anything. Like the days of skipping or missing an email are gone because you're just automatically going to open up the next email. You guys digging it? Feel free to applause it. Raise your hand at any time. Anytime. I'm just so impressed with myself right now. Anyway. So anyway, I look at this email. I was going to forward it to Marlene. I'll just cancel that right now, and I want to show you Boomerang and the snooze and all that good stuff. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to delete this. But I showed you all the things that you could do. Now, what time is it? 6:52, 9 hours ago, I got this email. I'm going to hit delete, and now I'm at 7:14 a.m., and here's an advertisement from the paperless agent. And this is something that, if I wanted to click on, I could do it. So what happens is this is something I'm interested in, 5 Facebook campaigns. I'm interested, I want to know about these campaigns, but I don't want to deal with them right now. So most people would keep them in their inbox and say, well, I'll check it later, but you don't. Let's be honest with ourselves. So if it's really important to me and I want to check it later, I'll either boomerang it or I'll snooze it so that I can check it at a time, like let's say Saturday afternoon, I know I don't have any appointments Saturday afternoon, and I know I'm going to either pay bills or check emails, and it's some downtime for me to do some research, then I'll do it Saturday afternoon. But I'm not going to snooze something on Friday mornings because I have the Floyd Wickman course. Why would I do that to myself? I'm not going to check it while I'm in the middle of the Floyd Wickman course, so I'm going to have it come back to me at a time that I can deal with it comfortably, and so I'm delaying it for that time. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, so for this one, and then what happens is up here, there are these little buttons, and what I like about it is Marlene it'll be like, 8:30 at night, and Marlene's got Netflix on. She's like, all right, John, what do you say?
Can we be done?
Can we be done now, John? Can we be done? And I'm on the computer, and I say, no, I got 26 more to go. I look up here and I say 26. All right, I'm going to go in, and I'm going to go through them, right? I'm going to go through the 26 until I'm done. Does that make sense, guys? So it's a very, very efficient, powerful way of organizing your life and getting through systems and not missing anything and staying right on top of stuff so you don't have to miss it. You guys, you good with that?
Yeah.
That's a game changer. That's a game changer. Okay, now, the other thing that I do is there's, over here on the right-hand side, Google added this. I think this is pretty cool. You can click on these buttons up here. Here's the thing, don't be afraid to click on buttons. You'll never know what you'll find. I click on this, and what happens is it loads my calendar for that day right next to my Gmail, and then it has it here, and I can look at tomorrow.
Okay, that's cool.
That's cool.
And then over here, there's a checklist of things to do, and then there's the Keep app, and those are different seminars. But you can keep if you do have a checklist of things to do, you can keep it here. Why do you have all these different apps? I mean, you have an app. Every phone comes with a checklist of things to do. Apple has their checklist of things to do. It seems like there's a dozen different things that you have access to where you can put your to-do list on. You can put it in notes. You can put it on checklists. You can put on to-do lists, right? But I'm begging you to put it all in one platform. Why not? You're already here. Why should you open another app? Does that all make sense? Yeah. So if you want to click on your to-do list, like here's my task. It's not a to-do list, it's tasks. These are things to do. I kind of categorize this as my someday maybe. my someday maybe list. If something's urgent, I need to get it done, you know, my tip, what I do is I put it in my calendar as an appointment with myself. And if I don't get it done that day, I just click and drag and move it to another day that I can do that activity. So if today I wanted to research renewing my license and I wanted to do it on Friday afternoon, but I didn't get to do it Friday afternoon, so I'm going to click and move it into Monday morning where I have an open slot. And that's a to-do. That's something that's urgent that needs to get done. I need to get tires for my car, you know, something like that. Like I need to block off time to do that activity. And even if it's a phone call, I'll make it like a half an hour appointment just to make the phone call. And then I'm more apt to do it because it's on my schedule of things to do. That's another way to not miss important things. But my to-do list is really for someday maybe. You know, like for instance, I wanted to create a YouTube video channel, and it's not urgent and it's not important. That's what I put on my tasks list. Okay? Now, moving on quickly, we go over to, I call this the 9 dots. You guys see this? I call it the 9 dots. Right up there. You click on the 9 dots and guess how many apps you have access to.
None.
Actually, the answer I'm looking for is a plethora. Plethora of apps.
You got to use the word today.
Do you know what a plethora is? If any of you have ever seen the movie Three Amigos, and he's like, do you know what the plethora is?
Many piñatas?
Oh, yes, many. Would you say I have a plethora of piñatas? A what?
A plethora.
Oh, yes. You have a plethora.
Jefe, what is a plethora?
Why, guapo?
Well, you told me I have a plethora. And I just would like to know if you know what a plethora is. I would not like to think that a person would tell someone he has a plethora and find out that that person has no idea what it means to have a plethora.
Do you know what that word means, the plethora? So anyway, a lot of cool stuff. Some of you, 20 of you in our office, got an email that was a form, and you could check off and invite. It was a chance to vote for what you'd like to do for our holiday party. I used Google Forms to create that.
Yeah, that was pretty, I was wondering where you used that. Like,
Google Forms.
where you used that.
This is all.
With a survey or?
Yeah, it does so many cool things. Just click on Google Forms, open it, and play around with it. It's really intuitive. It's pretty cool, easy to use, and you can do surveys. Now, how did I get this? Because my son and granddaughter do all their homework, tests, and quizzes. Their teachers set it up on Google Forms, and they're sitting there with their smartphones doing their homework using Google Forms. I'll tell you, the whole world is going here. They're already here. If you're not here, you got to get here now. It's like this is where we're going. Google Hangouts is amazing because when you make an appointment in your calendar, you can choose to have Hangouts, and people can click on it, and you click on it, and they can be connected to you having like a live video chat on your computer. Marlene and I were at home on a Sunday at 6 o'clock, and we've got a buyer who's out in Tennessee, and Marlene wants to give them the normal sit-down buyer orientation and show them her slides on her computer and everything. Google Hangouts. You just click on the Hangouts button, you send them the link, they click on the link, Marlene has the link, and they can see her computer, and they can see her face at the same time, and her slides, and they're communicating face-to-face using online presentation. All this is available to you right now. So the main things are Google Drive, Docs, Sheets, Slides. I mean, I went out, Mac has all these, and then Microsoft has all these. When I bought a Mac 7 years ago, I went out and I bought Microsoft for Mac or Office for Mac, so I could have Word and Excel and PowerPoint, and I could use it on my Mac and without having to convert it from one file to another. And I can still do that now. I still have those there, but we don't even use them. I mean, Eric and I, and Marlene and Karen, we're running an entire, 30 agent real estate office right now just on the G Suite Google platform at all. There is never a need for us to go outside of any of these apps, not one. There's nothing that any other program can do that we can't accomplish using what you have here at your disposal, all in one area, one section. Yes, Shauna.
So I'm thinking that might be good for when I'm in Curacao, because I can run it off Wi-Fi.
Yes.
And I don't have to use any data or anything else.
That's right.
So I can do a video chat.
Yeah, absolutely.
On Facebook, it can be more professional.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, absolutely. And Ryan, my son is opening a restaurant in LA, and he called John because he's like, oh, I need Word. You got a new computer or whatever. He's like, he wanted to, and he's like, absolutely not. You go to, the G Suite and you can do all of this. So he's running this whole business based on,
So there's also Open Office.
Oh, yeah,
which is what I
absolutely.
use to get around Word and not pay for anything with that's the Excel spreadsheets and all that. So
Yeah,
this
he
is
needed to
basically
do the
Open
spreadsheets.
Office.
It is.
Like a little more user-friendly.
Absolutely.
Very much so.
Yeah, he
Okay.
Yeah.
was so impressed because he
Yeah.
needed to do a spreadsheet, and he's like,
Yeah.
I don't even need all this other stuff. So, and plus it stores it for you, so
Right.
you don't have to worry about
It's more
losing
convenient,
the
yeah.
information.
Yeah.
And then the dot X, it kind of gets a little
Yes.
glitchy, so this is nice.
And everything that you see here, you download the Google Drive, the docs, the sheets, the slides, all these apps on your phone, and everything that's on your computer you can see on your phone, on your smartphone. Seamless. You're not taking up any storage on your computer. Zero storage on your computer, zero storage on your phone, and you can access everything that's on your computer on your phone. So resist the urge of doing anything anywhere else other than your Google Suite. Use it for everything. There's nothing that this can't do that you're doing somewhere else right now. And to have it all in one place is really time savings. All right, so I want to show you, so these are the most popular ones are usually up front. There's a couple of other cool things that I always recommend to agents when they're starting out, and I'm going to go a little quicker now. I'm not going to spend as much time on these apps as I did the Gmail, because by far that's where we spend the most amount of our time. Would you agree? Okay, so there's the Google Drive, and each of you, if you click on your Drive icon, you will see that your checklist is there. Your onboarding checklist is there when we brought you on board, and you can see all the things that you've done and what you need to do to be fully, completely, 110% onboarded. And so you can add other documents there. What we love about it is that we shared that document with you there. You can share documents with your sellers and your buyers and all that. Now in the Drive, let me show you what I did. So that's really cool. So if I go to my Drive, what I did here is I use these, if you have a bunch of folders anywhere, what I've learned is this little technique, this little trick, which this is the @ symbol, we'll say, right? So what happens is when you add the @ symbol to the front of the name, it brings it, so this is the @ sign. And so when you add the @ sign to the beginning of the name of a file, it automatically shoots it to the top of your list. So if you need to find it quickly, you do it. So what do you want to find quickly? Well, Steve, working in real estate, you should have two folders. One is @ buyers and one is @ sellers. So your buyers go in your buyer folder and your sellers go in your seller folder. So we have all our sellers in here. Want a peek? Want a peek in here? Watch this. So we have all our sellers in here. We have active listings, closed listings, expired listings. I click on our active listings. Some of them have to be moved into other folders. But here's one that's an active listing right here. Here's a folder with the property address. Here's how I set up my folders here. I have MLS pictures and non-MLS pictures. And in addition to this, there's another folder in here that I put, it hasn't been added in yet, and that is everything that's in .loop, I put here as well. Because I'm a little paranoid, like if .loop their servers ever blew up one day, what would I do with all the copies of those contracts? So every time I get a listing or a buyer sale, I take all my documents in .loop and I save them to the Google Drive in here in another folder that says listing forms.
So do you do that with ours too?
No, I don't. You'd have to do that with your own. And no, I'm not
We're all
going
going
to.
down with
Yes,
the ship,
yes,
John.
you are. So I'm out of here. Sorry. I got my life preserver. I don't know about you. But hey, you came to this class or you're watching this video right now, and now that you know that, you don't have to be a victim of circumstances like those who aren't. Oh, yeah. And you see where I went with it, too. Like, I don't need more work.
Boomerang.
I did totally boomeranged you. Yes, yes, yes. So, but you see how I set this up, and now, once it goes under agreement, I have another folder that says offer. And in the offer, I have all my offer forms and stuff that I need in there. So in the listing form, I'll have things in listings that are like, things that, you know all the attachments you see in MLS that you put in the documents attachments, like plot plans and seller's disclosures and stuff like that? I have that all in the folder under the property address. And the reason why I have two things here for MLS pics and non-MLS pics is that when I'm putting, let's say I have a photographer go to the property and they take 40 pictures, but I only want to use 20 out of the 40, I'll take the 20 best ones and I'll move them into this folder, and then I'll move them up to MLS from this folder. And the ugly pictures, I don't want to throw them away, but I keep them, but I put them in here. You follow me on that? So, and again, if it's a buyer, we put it under the buyer's name until it becomes a property address, and then we convert the name to a property address, just like you would in Dotloop. But this is kind of me duplicating my efforts. Some people think it's kind of crazy that you're doing it twice, but it's just something I enjoy doing. So I did it in my spare time. You know, when I'm not busy. That's what I like to do for fun. Yeah. Yes. It's my stress relieving activities.
This is where he wastes his time.
Exactly.
He has so
With his
much
favorite drink.
efficient-
With your favorite adult beverage, yes. So anyway, that's Google Drive. Use it a lot. It's great. You can share the drive with other people. But we share the drive back and forth with each other, and I share with Karen as well. So there's that. Now, let's jump into Calendar real quick. And just like with your email, if you click on the settings icon in Calendar, there's so many cool things you can do with Calendar, and we could have a whole class just on Calendar alone. But what I would invite you to do is go through each and everything on this list and look at it. You don't need a class. You don't need me to teach you what all this is, but it just goes through and gives you some options. So as you scroll down, it goes to time zone. You can have world clocks. You can do event settings. You can have working hours, 9 to 5. It's all very, very intuitive, so I'm not going to go through and explain all the details because you really don't need it. You just need to go through it and take the time to go through it on your own. Now, you can add calendars. So what I did here, this is a cool feature. If you go to Add Calendar, Browse Calendars of Interest. And then over here on the right-hand side, you see holidays for different religions. You see sports. You see phases of the moon, if you want to see the phases of the moon on your calendar. So what I did is you can click on baseball and choose your favorite baseball team if you want, right? And then click on that to see that on your calendar. So if you look on the left-hand side here, you see that where it says settings for calendars, I have New England Patriots chosen right here on the left. And so when I go to my calendar, I can, let's go back in time. It says the Patriots, look at this on my calendar. That was the score of the game when the game occurred. And it will literally, if you want to know what the score is and you're not near the game, of any game and of any team you want, you can literally, this keeps a live score for you. So you can look at your phone on your Gmail calendar on your phone, which is I highly recommend you do that too. That's another thing you should be on your to-do list. Take your phone calendar and move it away from where you can't find it very easily and put your Gmail calendar app from your phone like as one of your main buttons on the very bottom of your screen, and only use your Gmail calendar app on your phone and use your Gmail app on your computer because they're going to sync up, the colors will match. You know, we learned in the Floyd Wickman course, If you look at the calendar, everything is green is money. Everything in purple for me is training. Everything in pink is personal. And yellow is everything else. So I can look at my calendar and see whether or not I had a productive week or what I'm doing, how I'm doing it. The other thing that's really neat is when you're working together as teams, when you get to that level, like Eric and I are constantly working together and setting up appointments with each other and for each other. So what happens is Eric can start to set up an appointment with me. This is my calendar for next week, and I click on Eric's name on the left, and all his appointments show up in gray, and Eric can see my calendar, and Eric says, all right, John doesn't have anything going on Wednesday at 1. I'm going to book an appointment for both of us, and then he sends me a calendar invitation, and then we connect together. And then I say yes to the calendar invite, or maybe, or suggest a new time, or something like that. A lot of cool features on this. Again, we could spend a whole hour just going through it, but I just wanted to hit you with the highlights in regard to calendars. The other things you'll notice, the settings that I have, and you'll notice this. See the time that has gone past is all grayed out a little bit, whited out a little, it's washed out. And what I have coming up is not, and you see this little red bar right here, that's where we are right now at this exact time. But if everything is all colored the same, it's very hard for your eye to immediately pick up on where am I right now? What am I going to do tomorrow, the next day? So there's an option in settings where you can white out. You can still see it, but it's in the past. So the other feature that I have on here is that when an appointment's coming up, it'll pop up on my screen and stay there, and I can't move anywhere in my calendar until I click on that reminder that popped up. So it literally freezes it. So I can't hit the snooze button and forget about it. I have to do something with it right then and there because it won't let me move around in my screen. Does that make sense? So again, play around with those features. Just a tremendous amount of great things that I shared with you today. But you can learn more just simply by clicking settings, and then you just go down the list and look at what all the options are and play around with them and choose the ones you like. Event settings, view options, automatically add events from Gmail to my calendar. When you add events, you can have them automatically take up an hour or an hour and a half or 2 hours of your time. When you add an appointment in there, you can change the length of time for the appointment. You can automatically set up how many alerts you get, and within, if I want an alert every 15 minutes before an appointment or a half an hour before appointment or both, I can set it up to do that on every single appointment that I have. Automatically does that. So it is very cool stuff. You can add and import and export calendars and do all kinds of cool things like that. But make your world Gmail. That's the biggest thing I want to emphasize with all of you right now is you're wasting a huge amount of time, energy, and effort with everything you're doing in life if you don't have one go-to place to do everything. So again, the most wonderful thing I did is I'll share this with you too. If you look at my phone on the screen here, I have on what's in reach of my thumb, I have my phone, I have Chrome, Gmail here, and when I click on Gmail, I can see all of my my folders, and I can do whatever I just showed you on my computer, I can do on my phone. Thank you, Steve. I love that. I love the wows. I love the wows, right? If you have a seminar and someone doesn't say wow, you're not doing your job. So, and then over here, Google Calendar. I use this app, and so I click this, and it's in reach of my thumb. My right hand, my thumb. It's like the quickest button I can get to it. Boom, and look, all the same color. There's Scott from yesterday, right? There's a note reminding me my son's coming home. This LB was reminding me to put a lockbox on a property. So all kinds of cool stuff here, right? Nice. Every Saturday afternoon, I block off some time to work on financials. And sometimes I don't get to it. Sometimes I have to take that and move it off to Sunday. So I can click and hold it and move it over to the next day. really good stuff. And then this button right here on the bottom, you can add appointments and things like that. When you click on this top right button right here, it brings you to today and now. And you can do, you can have different views. You can look at the whole, just goof around with it. You have different ways of viewing it. You can look at a 3-day calendar. You can turn it sideways and do the whole week and do this action, right? I even have an alert that says go to bed at 11. I ignore it most of the time, but it's there to kind of remind me, hey, you should go to bed now. You probably should go to bed.
I like that shot.
You can do monthly. You can do weekly. I get paid weekly. No, seriously, I get paid very weekly. This view, Marlene loves this view right here. This is the schedule view where it has your schedule. It bleeds into Friday and Saturday and Sunday kind of go in together as you're scrolling. I don't like this view very much, but play around with it and use it. Don't get everything on. I like the day view the best. Let's see. All the apps that I use the most. Oh yeah, look at this. Don't forget to post Shauna's article on your calendar. So Shauna just sent me a text. I click on it. I'll hold it. I'll copy it. And then I'll go to my calendar here. I can't do it tonight, but I could do it tomorrow morning at 9:30. And then I'll just paste it and then save it. And now it's in my to-do list of things to do. And it's going to show up on my computer too. If I'm on my computer, it's here. If it's on my phone, it's here. How good is that?
It's amazing.
Yeah, and you know what? Here's a folder I have here that's called Google, guys. Look at this. I click on this folder, and these are all my Google apps. Drive, Tasks, Google Photos. Google Photos is a place where you can store all your pictures for free, unlimited, automatically upload it right from your phone right up to Google Photos. It's insane. All free.
Mine always says you're running out of space.
That
It might be my laptop itself that doesn't.
if you're so there's a setting that you can have it all go up to the Google Photos and then have it off your computer.
Okay.
So you can have them go off your computer and just store it in Google Photos and then delete all the originals off your phone and off your, so you don't have to store them on your device. Yes. But you get it. So anyway, that's how we do it, guys. Any questions? Did you get some value out of today's session?
That was awesome. Excellent.
Very good stuff. Excellent. Thank you, guys.
No more open office.
That's right.
That was great. Thank you.
That was amazing.
Thank you, John.
Yeah, you're very welcome. My pleasure.